Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at 4.1, production of goods and services, and we're going to talk about the things which are on the screen now. So operations, this is what the Unit 4 is about. Operations management is to manage resources effectively to produce goods and services. The production process adds value to the raw materials and bought-in components. The production process is shown here. The inputs are the four factors of production: land, labour, capital and enterprise, and the outputs include goods and services. So production is the total amount a business produces in a given time frame. Productivity is how a business measures its efficiency. For example, Miss Harriet's Cake Shop makes 20 cakes per week. That's the production. But the productivity is, there are 2 bakers in Miss Harriet's Cake Shop. The productivity of Miss Harriet's Cake Shop every week is 10 cakes per baker. There are 2 ways to measure productivity. Labour productivity, output over a given period of time divided by the number of employees, and capital productivity, which is the total output divided by the capital input. Labour productivity here as an example is 1,000 tables divided by the 50 members of staff, which is 20 tables per member of staff. Ideally, you would want a time frame there, for example, per week or month or year. So how can we improve productivity? Well, we can train our employees so that they are quicker at their jobs. You can use machines and technology within the workplace. You can motivate employees by giving them financial or non-financial bonuses, incentives, and you can reduce waste and recycle. On to the next part, let's talk about inventory. So an inventory is a complete list of items such as property, goods and stocks, or the contents of a building. So examples of inventory include merchandise you want to sell and things maybe that will help you deliver a service. Not examples of inventory is materials that the company needs, like computers and shelves that are needed to stock products and things like that, things that you're going to use again and again. So inventory level. So if we look at this graph here, at the top we have the maximum inventory level. This will probably be restricted by storage and how much you can keep at one time. Then you have the reorder level. Now the reorder level is done here so that you have delivery time, the time taken for goods to arrive. Then hopefully your goods arrive before you reach the minimum or buffer inventory level, and then your order can go back up to the maximum inventory level that you have. You have a minimum or a buffer inventory level higher than 0 so that you have some extra products in case there is an unexpected rush for your products, or maybe there is an unexpected turn in the economy, for example. Moving on to lean production. So lean production is ways to cut down waste. Now there are 7 wastes. Inventory, having too much inventory, maybe that's a waste because it's a waste of money for storage, and maybe it can get damaged as well. Waiting time is money, so that's a waste. Defects, this is something, if something is wrong and your product is not what the customer wanted or expected, or maybe it is incorrect, then you're going to have to, it sends back and you'll have to make it again. Overproduction, maybe you make too much of a product and there's not enough demand for it. Motion, which is unnecessary movement. So can you restrict the movement of your employees? That also reduces any accidents and things like that. Transportation, so you want to make sure that your products are not making unnecessary transportation. And over processing, are you making the product too fancy for the needs that your customers want? There are some ways to solve lean production. One of them is Kaizen. So Kaizen, it means continuous improvement. It's a Japanese word. And it is so that you make your business more streamlined. Here is an example of Kaizen. So before, in the factory, the products have to go all the way around all of these places. This is dangerous, this makes more time, and it's just a waste overall. Once Kaizen has been introduced, then you can see there's a much clearer flow of materials in and out of the factory. Just in time, this means that you receive the supplies just in time to make the product, just in time to pass it on to the customer. So this means that you save money on storage. You're going to have a quicker production process, and it reduces waiting as well, sometimes transport as well. And cell production, this is when you have specialists in one group, and each of these specialists contributes to one finished product each. Here are some ways that companies reduce waste, so you can have a look at the advantages. You can pause this video and have a look at each of the advantages of these forms of lean production. So how do we achieve lean production? Also, we need to choose the right production method. So there are three key production methods: job production, batch production, and flow production. So flow production is when products are identical, they're suitable for the mass market, and workers repeat a few tasks. The workers use the same tool and they are just doing one thing. So they are specialists at one thing. Usually there is a conveyor belt and the product moves around the conveyor belt, and the people sit, or the machines are around, and they're just doing repetitively one thing at a time. Batch production is in different stages. So you make groups of one product, batches of one product. So as an item is completed, it then moves on. So this allows changes to be made to products that are otherwise the same, because you can make one product and then you can stop and make another product. For example, sports shoes, maybe different sizes of sports shoes. Pharmaceutical ingredients, you'll need to maybe change those for particular percentages of things in each of the medicines. Inks, paints, obviously you're going to need different colors. Adhesives as well. Obviously, bread and bakery is another example. So here is an example of a batch production layout as well. Job production. So job production is where each item is unique and they have specific specifications. It's one-off product for each customer. So for example, making railings for a specific house, they're going to need to be custom made so that they're the right size. Maybe building or repairing a computer for a customer. Every problem is going to be unique. Making flower arrangements for wedding, or maybe a wedding dress, because people want those particular things to be different to everyone else's. There are ways to increase productivity. They are highlighted here. We've gone through all of these as well. So let's look at technology. So how has technology changed production methods? So we've got a few things. We've got automation and mechanization. This is using machinery in the workplace and through the production methods. We've got computer aided design. So this is obviously a designing form of software. It means you don't have to draw on paper anymore. You can use the computer to help you design very specific things. You can then use the PDF or the code from the computer aided design, fill this into the computer aided manufacture. So this is where the code is put into the computer, and this is then used to control the machines, which then work in a factory. This means that there's less human error. You can also make slight changes to your designs, and it's just overall going to be much more specific and quicker. These two combined is called computer integrated manufacture. Then 3 that you have probably seen as well is electronic point of sale. So when you have a very quick way of checking what you are selling, this also can affect the inventory numbers in your register. We've got the electronic funds transfer at point of sale when you use a card machine. And we've also got contactless payment in some countries where you can use, you don't even need to touch the monitor to transfer payment. There are some definitions if you want to pause the video. So we've got some advantages. Obviously, it's going to be higher productivity. Some of the boring jobs are done by machines. It's going to be quicker, data analysis easier, but unemployment could rise and it could be expensive as well. And also employees might not be happy with these changes. So new technology also needs to be updated regularly, which could also be expensive. All right, that's the end of 4.1. Thank you for listening, and please use this video alongside the textbook, your revision book, and past paper questions.